Now, let's talk about gear. Right? So, boy, the gear bit.
There's so much.
This is big blog post.
This is very big.
Like, this is exactly what we want to hear from Blizz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so, but does that mean they'd be tied behind reps? I don't know, Brian. We've not heard anything to suggest either for or against that. Right, powerful crafted equipment. In Dragonflight, you may find many recipes for extremely powerful equipment. In fact, every primary crafting profession can craft one or more pieces, all of which work under this system. Up to 5 can be equipped at once. Two-handed weapons count as 2 of those 5 slots, though. At the start, all of them start at an item level near normal raids that then increases with quality. Through optional reagents, they can be brought up to heroic and even mythic raid item levels, making them competitive with some of the best gear in the game.
Note earned optional reagents.
Yes, earned. That's important.
That implies not bought. That implies not found on the street.
Yeah. And again, that means trying to avoid the legendary crafting situation of Shadowlands. All are soulbound, so you'll either need to craft them yourself or have someone craft them for you with the crafting order system. Each piece of crafted equipment will require several types of soulbound reagents that you will need to earn to craft it and to improve it further with optional reagents. One type of reagent will come from various challenging activities, including dungeons, raids, PvP, and adventuring in some dangerous outdoor areas. You'll need to earn a fair amount of this to craft a piece of equipment, more for significant pieces. You can also use this to construct an optional reagent to bring this equipment up to around heroic item level. Then there is a second type of reagent that comes from a series of quests. These award you with enough to craft one piece of equipment, and then additional stages of these quests will become available to everyone every few weeks. So I think they are trying to do some slight slowing down, which is the sort of thing that honestly, in my view, it's like one of those things. It sucks. But I can see why they want to do that. I think it sucks, but I know why they want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Because people are going to zoom to the finish no matter what.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because I'm generally against time getting content. I think time getting progress is just a kind of frustrating way to work around a problem. But if it works around a problem and it's better than the alternative, then that's kind of okay. And just blocking off how many crafted pieces you can earn for the start of an expansion puts the weight on earning pieces instead of buying them, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Theoretically, of course.
Then, to upgrade equipment to a mythic item level, so the best in the game, you need to require a final reagent that can only be obtained from the highest tiers of content. Mythic raids, the highest levels of M+, and high-rated PvP. They say philosophically, the goal is that professions be a meaningful source of high-end gear, elevating their importance and value. As a crafter, you'll need to put in significant effort to gain the skill, specialization, and recipes needed to craft this gear, but it should be well worth it. As a user of this gear, you also need to go out and require many of the reagents yourself. Soulbound reagents are designed to provide a means of deterministic, incremental progress towards the gear of your choice while doing the activities of your choice. Basically, badge gear. Just that it's done via professions.
Yeah. That's the thing where that's the fundamental thing of, hey, here's the deterministic solution for loot you wanted. Tied into our crafting redesign. You're like, oh, look at that. You've got trade happening in some capacity within your game design at a high end kind of part. Okay, sweet. Look at that. Crafters and mythic raiders aren't living in their own bubbles.
Yeah.
They're talking to each other.
Then, in addition, the quest acquired reagent will limit how quickly you can acquire handcrafted gear, which prevents from overwhelming other sources of gear while giving you the freedom to choose from where and how quickly you want to acquire the other reagents. So I guess, people won't feel like they have to grind if it's kind of paced. Another thing then is they're redesigning phials. So the one thing they're doing is the standardization of the vial as an innovative replacement for the flask. Phials work, so flasks are dead in this new expansion. Instead, you have phials. Now, these work very similarly to flasks in that they last through death, and they count as both a battle and guardian elixir. But here's the difference. They require half the reagents to craft, they last half as long, but you can drink 2 of them together to get the same duration of a flask. You might be thinking, that makes no sense. That's a more complicated way to get the same thing. Turns out they're doing it for a reason. And that's because there's a wider variety of phials that have unique uses. Basically like different powers. So it makes sense for them to be cheaper. Now, overall, their design goal is that, if you just want to use one of these like a flask, you just right-click twice.
Very nice.
But what we can see here, so there's the tepid versatility, increases versatility by 72. But here's another one, the phial of static empowerment. Remaining stationary will increase your intellect up to 240 over 5 seconds. Movement consumes the effect, granting up to 500 speed for 5 seconds. So you could see a situation where for one fight, you want to use the versatility one. For another fight, maybe you want to use the phial of static empowerment.
Well, if they're 30-30, then that implies you can pop 2 and mix the effects, right?
No.
No? Does that say that? The 2 can be drunk together to get the duration from Flask for extra flexibility. A wide variety.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's no way they.
Okay.
There's no way they do that. Surely.
That may be difficult. I read that and I thought that was the intention, so maybe not. But that would certainly be interesting.
Because it says when it says consuming a second, I think it means a second of that flask.
Yeah, could do.
So you drink 2 flasks and now the effect lasts an hour. But if you drink a different flask, then you replace your effect with a new one.
Could do.
Because later on,
that's unfortunate. I was literally looking at the static empowerment versus going, oh, you can have a little bit of int, a little bit of verse. That's quite cool. As opposed to pick one for the 30, but yeah,
I think it's probably more simple for them if it is like that. The other one is the charged isolation, which is your intellect is increased when you're at least 10 yards away from allies. So basically, different ways to get power that can maybe shake up your gameplay in a minor way. And you can sort of choose what one you want, or there is just, with the tepid versatility here, a very traditional one, if you want that option. So they say that because of the wide variety of phials you want to consider, you will not find a cauldron recipe for phials and dragon isles, but you will find one for the most powerful craftable potions.
That's way better.
So there is a potion cauldron.
That's way better.
Way better. Yep. Finally, you might be wondering about alchemists and phial duration. Don't worry, you who choose to specialize in phials will discover the secret to making them last significantly longer for yourself. There you go.